japo tuna tofauti,
kila mmoja wetu ana sauti. Tuinuane,
ushirikiano wetu,
tuinuane.
ਹੋ ਜੱਟਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਰੁਜ਼ਗਾਰ ਮਾਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਖੇਤਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਮਕਾਰ ਮਾਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਜੱਟ ਛੇਤੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਮਰਦਾ ਨੀ ਵੈਰੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਾਰ ਤੋਂ, ਹੁਸਨਾਂ ਦੇ
Moses, this is Archie from UNON. Can you hear me clearly in the room? Moses, kindly confirm me whether you can hear me clearly in the room.
Yes. As you can see, NEMA not only is in charge of environmental issues in Nairobi, they've also taken over my program. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. You want to say something?
Excellencies, my dear boss, many of you may ask the question to know why NEMA has been awarded. And I'm very happy that the chair of the Committee of Permanent Representatives, the African Group, is also here. In 2017, the conversation started on banning the single-use plastic bag. And the whole African Group stand up, and NEMA were able to play a very catalytic role. And you can see now on the proof in this wonderful capital where we all stay, that when you ride now from the Jomo Kenyatta Airport towards wherever you're going, the city is more cleaner. This has set the tone for the conversation that lead to the ban of the plastic itself. So this is why NEMA has been awarded. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cyril. We are honored, ladies and gentlemen, to have among us the governor of the county of Turkana, who is himself here to honor the UN of the Year person. And I'm referring to the Honorable Jeremiah Lomurukai. I'm inviting him here to make short remarks. Sir.
Okay, thank you. United Nations Secretary General, represented by the Director General of UN, Ms. Zainab Awa Mangura, Country Director, World Food Program, Ms. Lauren Landis, UN family of agencies and all members of the diplomatic corps present, national and county government officers present, representatives of partner organizations and civil societies. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great privilege to address you today and be part of this year's UN Day. This is also the day when the UN Person of the Year in Kenya will finally be unveiled from the list of nominees whose works have availed new approaches of sustainably attaining sustainable development goals in keeping with the ideals of the UN. I'm proud that Aaron Ekpetot Nanok, a 31-year-old native of Lokori in Turkana East, and an officer in the County Department of Agriculture, is among the nominees courtesy of the World Food Program. His efforts in piloting innovative dryland agriculture have significantly contributed to improving food and nutrition security and promoting the diversification of livelihoods for pastoralist communities. These efforts have benefited up to 200 households who practice irrigation-fed agriculture across our country and county. It is my prayer and the prayer of the entire county of Turkana that he bags the ultimate prize. Mr. Nanok exemplifies the dedication spirit of Turkana youth who have surmounted many challenges to achieve great feat in life. Coming from one of Kenya's regions where opportunities are scarce and the cost of success is high, just to make it to the list of nominees in such a prestigious award as the UN Person of the Year in Kenya is no mean feat. I hope that this recognition will inspire you to go on to achieve even greater heights in life. It is also my belief that this accolade will inspire young men and women back home to believe that hard work and dedication indeed pays. I also wish to congratulate the rest of the nominees for the actions which earned them this recognition. I wish you all the best today and ask that you continue serving the public in your different capacities. Ladies and gentlemen, Turkana, as other regions in the Horn of Africa, continue to suffer the obvious effects of climate crisis. We are facing frequent cases of extreme weather, including water temperatures, regular droughts, food shortages, and higher poverty rates and displacement of communities. The current drought has affected over 800,000 residents of Turkana, a quarter of whom are in dire need of livelihood support. The situation has contributed to the rise in global acute malnutrition, raised to extremely critical levels of 34.8%. The total malnutrition caseload for under 5 was 87,880 as of a week ago, and of the 467 mapped hotspots, close to half lack an operational outreach, which raises concern of a worsening trend. The county government has rolled out relief distribution for families worst affected and plan to distribute at the end of the current relief cycle. 300 million shillings has been budgeted for additional disaster support, and I intend to allocate more funds in the supplementary budget to increase the support as the situation is expected to get worse. My administration appreciates the support from partners, notable being cash transfer, programs being implemented by humanitarian organizations such as the Red Cross and the National Drought Management Authority. However, we need to intensify our support and increase the number of target population. Our projections indicate that the county government needs about 4 million USD to address food insecurity and malnutrition urgently. I appeal to the UN agencies and partners to join county efforts and pool resources geared towards emergency response to increase the level of impact. A coordinated approach under structures of county steering group. I want to appreciate you for this very important day. Thank you and God bless you.
I also have to congratulate the governor for his timely reminder of the drought that is sweeping not only his county, but the entire region above that, all the way into the Horn of Africa. And it would have been remiss of him not to have mentioned that here. So congratulations. Well done, sir. Okay, I should have noted this earlier, and I apologize. To give you a little background about the UN Person of the Year Award and how it's done and so on, and I seek your forgiveness. But this is the 20th time that we've done this, as I noted before. We've had awardees ranging from Eliud Kipchoge, the renowned marathoner. We've had Margaret Kenyatta, the former First Lady, because of her program on ensuring that mothers who give birth does not necessarily mean death maternal care issues. We have had Abbas Goulet from formerly Red Cross Director General, and 17, 18 other very, very distinguished Kenyans. People who were not necessarily in the limelight, most of them, but once they received this award, really used it as a platform to continue to do the kind of work that we were recognizing them for. And I suspect this year's certificate receivers and the awardee themselves will continue in that same vein. So, as I said, these are people who were chosen based on their own personal commitment towards achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. In addition, this is someone who has succeeded in bringing to public notice significant issues related to the SDGs. The achievements of the nominees are sustainable and they serve as an inspiration to all of Kenya. So in that, what's the right term? In that stream, may I now invite UN ODC to please escort Mr. John Mugendi Gitonga to receive a certificate of commendation. Fantastic. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Can I invite UNODC to maybe say a few words as to why Mr. Mugendi Gitonga is receiving this?
Thank you very much. As you know, wildlife crime is a multi-million-dollar business for organized criminals worldwide. And Mr. Mugendi has a significant track record in fighting corruption at the Kenyan Wildlife Service and reducing corruption and eliminating collusion between the staff and criminals and organized criminal groups, and reducing the misuse of funds, bringing transparency to procurement processes. And this year also, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission awarded 100% scores in its through the review of the institution on its anti-corruption efforts, which brings it up from 54% in previous years. Congratulations.
Please. Cameraman, the ones with a really big camera. The kids in the very back are wondering, who are these people? You know, they're the ones that look after the animals in the Nairobi National Park. Okay? So. We good? Thank you. Thank you very much. This year's winner was nominated by the World Food Programme. So it is right and appropriate that we hear from the representative of the World Food Programme, Ms. Lauren Landis. Lauren.
Thank you and good morning. Your Excellency, the Governor of Turkana, Madam DG, other distinguished colleagues from the UN family and from the diplomatic corps, friends, colleagues, all protocols observed. As you've heard this morning, the annual observance of UN Day allows us to reaffirm the goals and ideals of the UN Charter, embodied very much in our Sustainable Development Goals. The SDGs, as we know them, bring hope to many people for a better world by delivering the future that we all want. And as you've heard already today, this award, now in its 20th year, recognizes people in Kenya, but working outside the UN system, but reflecting the UN values in their work and serving both in a personal and a professional capacity and inspiration to all Kenyans. Now, today, not only am I representing the World Food Program, I'm also standing in for the RC. So I want to make sure that I'm also talking about this very significant year of 2022, when the United Nations in Kenya starts its new Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework. This framework not only brings together all UN agencies and has them working together like never before, but also embodying tangible ways and the UN commitment to leaving no one behind, especially women and girls, youth, and people in the SLs. The new framework also brings together what we're calling the 5 Ps: peace and prosperity, people and planet, and an overarching commitment to partnership. Partnerships between UN agencies, between the UN and county governments, national government, and of course, the NGOs and the ever vibrant private sector here in Kenya. In reflecting these 5 Ps, I want to note, I was struck by the fact that each one of our nominees this year really reflected the commitment to protecting the planet. Did you notice that? The focus on the environment is important. An important addition to the Sustainable Development Goals, a collective recognition that we must focus more on integrating the environmental dimensions of sustainability in order to achieve sustained economic and social impact. I'll bet you also noted that any of this year's nominees would have been a worthy winner, and I offer my heartfelt congratulations to our joint runners-up. John Kitonga of the Kenya Wildlife Service, as well as the National Environment Management Authority. But now let me focus a little bit on our final nominee and winner. Here we have a young man whose life and work to date embodies the Sustainable Development Goals, and especially our work in Kenya. As you will see in the video that follows this, the project he leads brings together many, many partners. The county government of Turkana, of course, UN agencies, including WFP, NGOs, and other implementing partners and donors. However, it is Aaron Nanuk on the front lines day after day, working to share his knowledge in community nutrition and sustainable ways of farming with villages across the county. This work is the product of a long-standing collaboration between the Turkana County, UN agencies, NGO implementing partners, and the sustained support of donors. I was there recently when the USAID administrator, Samantha Power, came to East Africa to announce unprecedented amounts of support. We took her to Turkana, and it was our nominee who led her through one of his community farms at Kachoda in northern Turkana. And I got to watch how Samantha Power, someone who sits in Washington, DC, and had endless questions about what exactly was going on in this community, was immediately taken with this nominee and really just impressed both with his knowledge and his passion for his work. As the administrator said in her press conference that day, there is not enough humanitarian money in the world to meet the needs of people who here today and will continue to be affected by climate change. The effects of the climate emergency are felt everywhere, but especially by the most vulnerable. Intensifying our efforts towards sustainable food security are as vitally important as any action in the face of climate change. This man, from one of the most vulnerable parts of Kenya, is helping his homeland to do just that. It is therefore with great pleasure that we formally recognize this year's UN Person of the Year in Kenya, Mr. Aaron Nanook. Thank you. And now we'll turn to the video.
My name is Aaron Nanok. I'm the County Agri-Nutrition Officer in charge of Agri-Nutrition in the Department of Agriculture, Turkana County Government. Today, we are at Natot, one of the 9 agri-nutrition sites in Turkana Central. In a typical day, the first thing I do in the farm is doing the pest scouting so that we know which pest has infested the farm. And if there is any cases of a disease, we address immediately. After engaging the farmers now, we also have the briefs. They tell us the challenges they have got in most of their plots, and we collectively address that challenge. The farmers are producing various nutrient-dense crops, ranging from butternuts, watermelons, cowpeas, spinach, kales, and amaranth. Some of the fruit trees that we are producing include papaya carica, we want to address the challenge of food and nutrition insecurity at household level. Most of these farmers, especially the rural farmers, produce much, they feed the world, but malnutrition cases are always reported in these households. So as a department, is to ensure that these farmers also consume what they're producing, rather than them having malnutrition cases, yet they're the one producing the food. The success stories about this farm is the 80 households that are the owners of this farm have transformed their lives in that they are able to produce in large quantity, they utilize, and then the surplus they sell. And when they get the extra money, they now buy other food that they are not producing. We are promoting technologies that are water efficient, and such examples of those technologies include drip irrigation, we promote and ensure that they utilize diverse food at the household level, and the diet they should be eating should be a sustainable, affordable diet.
May I ask the WFP representative to please escort the winner to the front here so he can be presented with his award by Ambassador George Arena, representing the government of Kenya, and Madam Zainab Hawa Bengura, the Director General of UNON. You will notice that Aaron is much taller in real life than on video. Yes, Governor, please join for the Okay, thank you very much. Very grateful. The new governor knows the power of government. It only ends when he says it ends. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the representative of the government of Kenya here today, our good friend, Ambassador George Arena, please.
A very good morning to you all. Good morning. Thank you. Your Excellency, Dr. Zainab Hawa Bengura, Director General of the United Nations Office in Nairobi. Your Excellency, Beane Rusom, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of the State of Eritrea, Excellencies, ambassadors, and members of the diplomatic corps, Your Excellency Jeremiah Lomurkai, Governor of the Turkana County, the County Director WFP, Ms. Lauren Landis, national and international partners, members of the UN family, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me digress a bit from the speech that I have that I'm presenting, just to say, by way of introduction, that I'm very, very excited that the UN Day, our dinner, goes to Turkana. If we go back in history, Turkana is the cradle of mankind. Way back, the remains of Homo erectus were discovered on the western banks of Lake Turkana. So today here we are talking about the triple planetary crisis, and our idea for this year is none other than a son from the same region that gave us the first humankind. So from the home of mankind, we have solutions to deal with the triple crisis that we are now facing as a global family. Congratulations to our winner, and congratulations to the county of Turkana. I think you lead and the rest follow. Congratulations on that. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to address you today as we celebrate 77 years since the founding of the United Nations. The anniversary has come at an opportune time when we can take stock of the achievement of the United Nations, as well as reflect on how to move forward amidst the myriad of global challenges. 2 years ago, we celebrated the 75th anniversary, where member states agreed that our challenges are interconnected and can only be addressed through reinvigorated multilateralism by the United Nations and placing the UN at the center of multilateral efforts. And this is what became our common agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment of reflection for all of us. 77 years it is. And we must ask ourselves, is the United Nations as constituted fit for purpose? Can all its 193 member states agree that there is equality of nations as envisaged in the UN Charter? As we celebrate the 77th anniversary, the world is still reeling from the effects of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the imperative is to know that the global post-pandemic recovery period is still with us. We must therefore make concerted and deliberate efforts to ensure socioeconomic and politically resilient political resilience by making development a global agenda. As a country, we acknowledge the efforts of those who have made great determinations throughout the post-pandemic recovery period by engaging in dialogue that aims at helping nations to bounce back from the impacts of COVID-19. We welcome the initiative of the Kenya United Nations Assistance Framework under the UN Development Assistance. This has helped most developing nations to tap from the experience and resources of the UN and to support their development priorities. For Kenya, the UNDAF 2018-2022 is anchored on the country's blueprint for development, the Vision 2030, and national priorities as outlined in the medium-term Plan 3 and in the plan as set out by His Excellency the President, and the Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2030. As such, the UNDAP speaks to and intends to advance the UN agenda on responding to the UN system, an ideology that Kenya strongly stands for. Ladies and gentlemen, today, the world is on the wake of climate action. The impacts of climate change are severely felt everywhere, including in Kenya. The governor has eloquently spoken to the challenges that we are facing, especially in our ASAL, that is arid and semi-arid areas. These calamities continue to occur, and what matters the most is how we reinforce our solidarity for action against climate change. As we gear up for the 27th UN Conference of Parties to the UNFCCC, that's the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, Kenya is calling on the global community to take concrete action on climate change mitigation, adaptation, and resilience. COP23, which is referred as the African COP, is very important for us in Africa. It is our desire that this conference will address issues that are of critical benefit to the African continent. These include reaffirming existing commitments by giving concrete timelines when resources for climate mitigation, adaptation, and resilience will be available for African countries. In Kenya, for example, we are currently faced with a challenging shift in climate patterns in the arid and semi-arid regions of the country that has resulted in severe drought. We extend our gratitude to the UN for the support granted to over 4.5 million Kenyans who are facing adverse effects of climate change. It's thus our desire that COP27 reaches concrete decision on the global goal of adaptation, and we are as well keen to hear how developing countries address the issue of loss and damage. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the international community is currently faced with multiple challenges to achieving peace and security. A good case is the significant conflict being experienced at the Eastern and Horn of Africa regions. As you are aware, Kenya has continued to advocate for equality of states. We have advanced the decisions of the African Union to advance international peace and security agenda and try to seek sustainable solutions for peace in Africa. As an anchor state in the Horn of Africa region, we will continue to work with our neighbors to find lasting solutions to ongoing conflicts. To succeed in this, we need the concerted efforts of all stakeholders. And here we mean the UN, the African Union, region organizations, and all our development and peace partners. Without doubt, ladies and gentlemen, these conflicts have disrupted our efforts of recovery from the pandemic. We have seen an increase in price commodities, disruption in the trade of goods and services, and countries, including Kenya, are now operating a very tight fiscal space. Kenya continues to iterate its commitment to resolving global peace and security and remains at the forefront in calling for reforms at the UN, especially reforms of the UN Security Council to make it more democratic and representative. We also advocate for a strong rules-based international order rooted in internationally accepted norms and multilateralism to tackle global challenges. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of Kenya, I take this opportunity to congratulate our winner today, Mr. Aaron Nanok, for being recognized by as the UN Person of the Year. Certainly, Mr. Nanok's determination to focus on sustainable agriculture demonstrates his keen understanding of the overarching challenges of our times, which is to address economic, social, and environmental aspects of development in an integrated way. Indeed, his efforts is a reflection of our country's broader campaign to forge global solutions to common problems through creativity and innovation. I'd like to invite us all to give a round of applause to our winner today, Aaron Nanok. Thank you, thank you. Let me also congratulate the two runners up. Nema, a round of applause, please. And John Gitonga of KWS, a round of applause. Thank you. May the good work that you are doing continue. Excellencies, Kenya is proud to host the United Nations Environment Program, UN Habitat, and all the other UN agencies and international organizations that are based here in Nairobi. And we welcome the collaboration that we have with this organization and assure them of our support. You can count on our support, Madam DG. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, the efforts that we are making are a clear testimony that we have been confronted with contemporary issues that that can only be resolved if we work together. We need to live up to our commitments and reaffirm our commitment to the 2030 Agenda and its sustainable development goals. The challenges that confront humanity today can only be dealt with effectively through collective and multilateral efforts. Together, we need to find solutions to tackle climate change, to mitigate its effects, and to teach our people how to adapt and to develop resilience, to deal with loss of biodiversity, pollution, peace and security, and other threats. We need to do all this knowing that we either make it together or we perish together. As a country, we continue to immensely contribute to other thematic areas of the UN Common Agenda, including justice, human rights, and democracy, youth empowerment, women, peace, and security. We have a window of opportunity to save our planet, but we can only do so if we stand together. Let us all unite behind the principles of the UN and live up to the full commitments, potential, and hope for the United Nations, all with an ultimate goal to achieve global peace and prosperity and make the world a better place where humanity can thrive. I thank you all for your kind attention. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very, very much, Ambassador Orina. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my last UN Day event. I will be transiting fairly soon. And that may explain, madam, why I have caused so much damage to protocol today. When the government of Kenya speaks, that should be the end of things. Complete, finish, close. I forgot something. I forgot to invite our winner to say a few words. And it would be a shame because I rushed the program that he's not able or was not allowed to do so. So I beg all of you to, I beg your indulgence and allow Aaron to have his moment here on the platform. And Aaron, please come and say a few words. And if it goes too long, you don't have the right to pull your award away from you and maybe give it to Nema. Okay? Please, Aaron, come.
Good afternoon. Before even I begin to say a word that I have to all of you, may I first of all recognize the presence of my governor, His Excellency, Jeremiah Lomurkai Napotikan. It is because of the Turkana County government that I am standing before you today. And it is because of my employer that has given me an opportunity that other youth are also yearning, that they have never got, to make life of others better. Today, I will talk briefly on 6 issues. Hopefully, I will not be chased on here, but I will be very brief. Today, I am standing to share with you the concept and the model of agri-nutrition sites. This is a concept that puts our agri-food system nutrition sensitive. In other words, we make our farmers know why they're producing this food. We make these farmers know that it is only safe, adequate, nutritious, and culturally food that they should feed on. Number 2, I will be talking of the challenge of climate change and its effects. Much of other speakers have taken time to talk on that. Maybe I'll be brief on that so much. Number 3 will be the climate smart agriculture technologies and innovations that we see as the only sure bet for we have the big elephant in the house. That is climate change and its effect. I will also talk about partnership. I will briefly talk on research and development. I will also talk to the world the potentials that my county has, and we will appeal to our partners to help us exploit our natural endowment given by God. That is the aquifers, Nakuru Aquifer and Lotikipi. If we can, if our partners will come in the spirit of sustainable goals, coordinated partnership, we are in a position to make not only Turkana food and nutrition secure, but the entire of Kenya. Why agri-nutrition model? Why agri-nutrition model? Persistent acute malnutrition is part and parcel of my community. Whenever you mention Turkana, you will always talk of undernutrition, micronutrient deficiencies. So that is the reasoning. We want now to focus food production at the household level and ensuring that the people who are producing this food are utilizing the food. Researchers demonstrated that they produce, feed the world, but then they forget themselves. They sell everything, and as a result, malnutrition cases are reported in this household. Why climate smart technologies and innovations? They are water efficient. They are water efficient, and therefore, for a county like Turkana, with the scarcity of water, that is our feature. The feature of dryland agriculture is climate smart innovations and technologies. Research has been making us make informed decisions, and therefore there is a need for us. I am appealing to all of us. There is a need for us to invest in human capital, that is through research and development, and for committed youth like me to have time to have more engagement in research. And in this, and in the same breath, Arama University in Ethiopia is offering a PhD or advanced studies in climate change, climate smart agriculture, and biodiversity management. The appeal to the leadership of this UN Day is, if I can be given an opportunity to, in the words of Nelson Mandela, it's only education that can change the society. And therefore, the investment that can be done to youth, the future is the youth. And therefore, I wish that we invest in the youth. And therefore, my appeal is, I have already a concept on the same. And you understand, for you to go for an advanced studies, you need to be good at pocket-wise. So I am open to the idea that if there is a person who will support that one, because that is the only way we can inform which some of these climate smart agriculture innovations and technologies can suit the likes of the arid and semi-arid lands of Kenya, Turkana being included. Let me conclude by saying that I want, from the bottom of my heart, I'm privileged and humbled to stand before you, and more so to thank the WFP, that is the World Food Program, for finding time to nominate me for this award of this year. It is indeed, yes, the partnership that can change the face of Turkana. You understand that sustainable number 17 on coordinated partnership for the goals. And therefore, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, World Food Program, for giving me such a kind, for nominating me for this award. I never expected this, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Having said so, there is something that I need to say finally. Finally, we can only be food and nutrition secure, not only Kenya, but not only Turkana, but the entire Kenya, if we can make our agri-food systems resilient and a narrowed view of food as a human right, a common and a public good. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me all the time to say it. Thank you, sir.
I see a politician in the making. Governor, what is the next election? He has appealed for further studies. I think you should send him to a PhD program that takes 6 or 7 years. Kule, Mbali. Asurudi tulodwa. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody today. We've had a great event. I know many of you have cut short your regular schedules to be here today, and we're extremely grateful for that. I know a lot of you have traveled far to be here. We are honored that you made the time and you spent the time to come here today. We are going to have a group photo on the staircase. Is that correct? The photographers? Yes, over there. The ambassadors, you're all invited, and country representatives, with the winners, of course. And what can I say? But inshallah, we'll see you next year. Asanteni sana on behalf of the Director General here. Kwaherini na tutaonana, sivyo?